Hello and welcome to Distant Stitches. My name is Sue. I'm also known as Crafty Knitter 7 Reads on Instagram, Crafty Knitter 7 on Ravelry. Today is February 1st, 2026, and it's been about a year since you've seen my face on the camera. This is episode 41, and as you will see, I'm alone. Liz is not with me. Life is life, and she's not up to recording, so I just thought I would go for it. It's been a long year, a little bit of a backstory. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're returning viewers. It's been a long road this last year due to mental health issues for myself. My husband has had health issues and had a major blah, yeah, professional major surgery in October and is recovering. So, yeah, I haven't been knitting a lot. I haven't been doing a lot of crafts, but with the 12 cast-ons that everybody seems to be doing, I just jumped on the bandwagon. So, here we go. Sit back, get a drink if you need one, and I hope you enjoy this. Some ADMINY Things. We have a Ravelry group, although not very active. I will put the show notes for this episode there, and all the links and everything I talk about will be on Ravelry as well as down below in the description. We do have a Ko-Fi page, or Ko-fi, however you say that. It will be linked as well if ever you want to buy us a cup of coffee to help support our channel. That will be great. I'm looking here because this is where my show notes are. We do have an email address, which is distantstitches@gmail.com. So, welcome. What have I been up to? Well, let's just jump right into it, and we will go with the first thing, which is I completed a Musselburgh hat just before Christmas, I believe. So if you're not familiar with the Musselburgh hat, it is by Isolda Teague, and basically you're knitting a tube. You start with this end, you increase to whatever stitches you need because it's very forgiving. You can knit this in any weight of yarn you want. And then you knit across until you get to whatever length you need. 19 inches, I think, is what I did. And then you cast off. Then you take the hat and you put, let's see if I can get this done. You put it together. So basically it becomes 2 layers. And when you're putting it on, oh, that's cute. Not too slouchy. Or if you want, you can roll it up and you've got 4 layers, which keeps you quite warm. And in the in the Canadian cold weather, yeah, we need this kind of hat. So, oof, static. So that's one thing that I finished. The yarn is Black Cat yarns. I don't know the colorway. I just reached into my stash for the brightest green I had because I needed to be cheered up, and this is what I ended up with. So that's the only finished object I have. I did finish socks for my husband last year, a couple of pairs, as usual, and yeah, I think I knit myself a pair of socks too, but I don't remember. It's been too long. So let's start by the first project that I cast on last year. It is called the Mountain Mist. I can do this. It's the Mountain Mist cardigan, and I got all the links open here. So let me see if I can find this. Mountain Mist. So it is by TinCan Knits. It's going to be a glare. Sorry about that. That's what that looks like. I am knitting it out of Rauma, which I grab a ball here. I purchased, well, my friend Bente in Norway purchased it for me, but actually she gifted me this, and I think her and the yarn store owner picked out the colors. Yeah, that's right. She gifted this to me. So it's Rauma Fivel. She'll probably, you can't go there. I'm butchering it, and I'm sure she's screaming at the screen right now. It is in a lovely bag that my friend Selma made for me. And I was at a knitting event yesterday, and I got a lot done. It's been on the needles for a while. Sorry, my screen went blank. I forgot to turn that off. I'll try not to act surprised every time I see that happen. So this is what it looks like. So it's a nice cream, a green, because if you know me, a light brown, and then the dark brown that I showed you. Oh, this way. So it's getting quite long. I was at an event, as I said yesterday. There's my stitch marker. And I literally got that much done. So quite a few inches. I need 17 inches, and I think I was at 12 yesterday. So not too much longer to go. And when it's done, well, it'll probably be summer and I won't be able to wear it. So what can you do, right? Is what it is. So, and as every podcaster does, I'm just going to throw this on the floor. We'll deal with the mess later. So that was the first one. Get back to my show notes here. Oh, no. The second thing I want to show is this is part of the 12 cast-ons, which Ange from Yarn and Yarns is kind of the creator. She's done this the past couple of years, but I saw it on Stash Down Diaries with Jen, I think from Nova Scotia. That's where I knew it was around. I knew people were doing it, but when I watched hers, that's when I decided, let's do this. And my friend Anne is also doing it, so of course I had to. So the next thing is called an Edgar Vest. And let me grab you a picture of that so I can show you what it looks like. Edgar Vest. So it is this vest. Is there another picture in here? Let me just see. And it's kind of what the bottom looks like. So I'm knitting this out of deep stash, like 2012, 2013, around there. My friend Selma went to Uruguay to visit family, and she came back with this gorgeous brown. Don't have the light stuff going. I just got lights pointing at me so that you can actually see me, but it's a beautiful, beautiful chocolate brown. You can see it's got like patches of lighter colors, and I'm knitting that on size, show notes. I'm knitting that on size 5.5 millimeters, which is a US 9. And so it's just started. I think this is the back, and it's got a really cool, you can see that, a twisted rib. So I'm about to start some kind of shaping here. So that's where that part is. Oh, oh yeah, that's another ball attached. Whoopsie. And the next thing is I saw Anne. Yes, I'm going to be saying Anne a lot. Take a drink every time I say Anne. Um, what is this? These are the mitts, the coastal drift mitts. She was casting on a pair of these coastal drift mitts, and I thought they were absolutely stunning. This pattern is by Manson Drolet, and I'm knitting this on size, actually, shorts, because that's what you got them for. Oh, sorry, Mountain Mist was 5 millimeters, US 8. My bad. This one is by Johanna Gehrisch. Sorry if I'm butchering that. And the Edgar, oh, wow, let's just rewind a second. Forgive me. The Edgar Vest was 5.5 millimeters, which is US 9, which I mentioned. Now we're on the Coastal Drift Mittens, which is 3.25 millimeters, and that's a US 3. This yarn, I can show you the mitts, I guess, right? That might help. So I've got the cuff, and I'm about to start that beautiful wispy patterning thing. So it's a twisted rib again. You can see that. And this is a beautiful, like, wine color, and it's by Knitting It Up, but she doesn't sell yarn under this label anymore. I think she's now going under Popular Annie. I can't remember, but this was bought quite a few years ago at a local yarn festival here called Twist, and this is the Wicked Games colorway. So it's beautiful wine, and like there's lighter colors and darker colors. So that is that. And like I said, I am just partway through the first mitt, and we'll just keep on going with that. Just depends what I feel like knitting on at the time. I'm a mood knitter, kind of like people are mood readers. I'm a mood knitter. Depends what I want at that moment. Um, and so I got different things I can pick up when I feel like it. The next thing I'm going to show is the button box throw, which is by Helen Stewart. And let's just get this so you can't see the pattern. So this is, she made a throw a few years ago, but it was like triangular, I think. And this is it's a similar pattern, but it ends up being like square. And I'm knitting this out of Arctic Crafts, which is my bestie Bente in Norway. Her whole line of yarn. She sent me minis from almost every color she dyed after she closed her shop a year or so ago. And so I'm knitting it out of that. This is what I've got so far. Look at those colors. Aren't they great? Not really trying to match, and I'm not putting the eyelets where they tell me to because I'm using a whole 10 grams, and in the pattern you're using maybe 5, but I want a bigger blanket. So that's what that's looking like. And this is on size 4 millimeters, which is a US 6. And I have all of the colors here in my beautiful sheet bag. Like there's so many nice colors. Like there's this like some blues. Well, literally, that's what I'm choosing from. Uh, so it's still small, so I'm holding the current project in this, and I put that in the bigger bag with all of the yarn. All right, time for a little beverage. I'm a little rusty, so apologies again. And yep, Canadian, I'm almost saying sorry. The next thing I want to show you is Welcome to the Party Pal socks, which are over here. These are by Sock Witchery, and it is a Die Hard reference. If you've ever watched um, the Die Hard movie, no, Die Hard reference, yes, the Die Hard, the Christmas one, whatever that's called. At one point in the movie, he says, "Welcome to the Party Pal," and this is where this came from. So it's this beautiful. You've got, like, you can see that it's knits and pearls, and you're just moving these squares around, and it's gorgeous. And this is out of Alley Cat yarn in the Alley Cat Yarns, who's local in Ottawa to me, and it is the Saginaw colorway. So these are great. I was knitting a pair of socks for myself, and I knit mine on 2.5, and I just found them so fiddly. It was driving me nuts. So I put them aside. I can't knit them. They hurt my hands. This is 2.75. It's not that much bigger, but it feels like I have so much more needle in my hand, if you know what I mean. Like it feels like I have so much more to grasp, and I'm not like knitting with toothpicks. It's crazy. So yeah, 2.75, which is a US 2. And I got my cute little Nomi, bee Nomi. What are they called again? Point protectors. Yeah, so that's it. And Arctic Crafts. Alley Cat yarn. This is her logo. Melissa's yarn is amazing, and I absolutely love it. So that is that. The next thing I would like to show is the Dustland cardigan, and this I am knitting for my husband. Dustland. It's not going to be as long. This is a Stephen West pattern. It is not going to be that long. I am not knitting him a house coat. It's going to be waist long. And it's basically just textures and stuff. And um, my friend Anne knit a sweater for her husband, Bob. Hello, Bob. And the textures, Sean loved the textures. And I thought, maybe I can find a pattern that I can kind of get some textures from. And this basically does it. And All right, I started it. All these things are just barely started, so I mean they're on the needles. That's what counts. And the whole point of the 12 cast-ons is you cast on 12 things or however many you want, and you knit them throughout the year. So this is the start. This is all I got. And I gave him the choice of yarns to pick. There was a green, there was a gray, and then there was this, which is Arctic Crafts, and it is one of her worsted bases, and it's in the lichen colorway. And as I said, she's not dyeing yarn anymore. I got a crap ton of it in my stash. I might as well use it. But he picked this, so I thought this is great. And it is on size 4.5 millimeters, which is a US. So how are you doing so far? What are you guys up to? What are you knitting on? Did any of you start the 12 cast-ons? If you did, comment down below. I would love to hear what you're doing. The next thing would be, oh, my garter blanket, my Christmas cast-on. Sorry, my Advent cast-on, I should call it. Let me just get the bag. It's huge. This is the bag it's in, and it is from my friend Anne. Anne made. So let me tell you about Anne. She hosts she Spa Knits on Instagram and YouTube, and she hosts the No Excuses podcast. Every year she does, it started off with bags, like smaller bags, for a charity local to her. I think it's heart disease. Anne, correct me if I'm wrong. And I've always donated and gotten a bag. And then another year it was like a bag and a couple minis, but this year she decided to offer a ginormous bucket bag. Look at this thing. It's huge. And 24 minis. And I thought, well, I'm going to support a charity and get 24 minis. And it was absolutely amazing. I knit a mini every single day, except for days where I thought the mini wasn't really going to show well, like not enough contrast. So this is my blanket. Think I've added two more colors since then. But this is my blanket. So this literally covers all of my legs when I'm sitting on the couch and knitting it. It's great. And these are all just all from her stash, I think, pretty much. But it's amazing. I love it. It's garter. You're just knitting back and forth. Doesn't really matter, no rhyme or reason. And so once I had the 24, I was like, well, I need more. I wanted at least double the length. Um, Let me just tell you what size of needles. This is 5 millimeters, which is US 8. So then I decided I got an advent from my friend Nina, who is Pearls and Peers and Pearls podcast. She's Ine on the web, Eenae. Hope I got that right, Nina. She had given me an advent, not last year, the year before, and I was crocheting squares in the thought that I would join them all together, make a blanket. Let me see how many I got done. I got six done. Well, that's not working. So I decided to take her minis, and I'm holding it double with um, undyed yarn. I have a couple big cones of undyed yarn, so I'm holding it double with that. So her 24 minis are going in my blanket. And then it fits in this huge, huge bag, which I absolutely love. I love supporting Anne. I love watching her podcast. If you don't know who she is, she will be linked below. Go check her out. She's just great. The next thing is the Woodland Whispers cardigan. That, and again, cast that on. Can you see a theme here? She does it, I want to do it kind of thing. We're feeding off each other. Yeah. So it is by Christy Archer. Oh, sorry. The blanket is by, it's a Comfy Cozy Blanket by Homespun House. And as I said, the yarn was from Anne. The bag is from Anne. Woodland Whispers cardigan is, let me find it on my, so many things open on my iPad right now. This is what it looks like. And let me see if I can, and I'm not sure you can see the patterning on the sleeve. It reminds me of the Felix, the patterning on the sleeve. And no, that's not what I want. Okay, I had a coughing fit and I had to stop and take a drink. Coughing out of the blue. No reason. I think it's the dry air. So I was telling you about the not mountain, Woodland Whispers cardigan, and I had shown you a picture, and this is what I'm using. Hey, it matches my nails. Look at that. There's a theme. I'm using Craft Smart acrylic from Michaels. It's super soft, and I had a lot of it, so I thought I would use it, and it's in the colorway wine. A little bit of a theme. And it is on, right now it's on 4.5 millimeters, which is a US 7, but I think 5 millimeters is where I have to switch to. I can't remember for the main part of the body. So yes, not sure if I said who the designer was. It's Christy Archer, and yeah, that's great. And then the last project, um, yeah, the last project is where did I put the slippers? The slippers. Sorry, I thought I was recording and then realized I wasn't recording, so I had to go back and figure out where I was. So the last pattern I want to show you is mm, the sailor slippers by Annie Sews. So let's get it. So, so these are all the rage right now. Everybody's doing them. They're a felted slipper, and I'm knitting it out of the pattern it's called for, which is Drop Snow, on a size 8 millimeter, which is a US 11. It's huge. Very strange to knit on needles this big. So this is where you put your foot in, and I've knit all the way down. That's the top. The bottom is going to be gray, so I've started knitting that, and eventually we will sew those, excuse me, sew those together, and I will do the felting. I have a front load washer machine, so not quite sure how that's going to work because normally a top load is easier to felt with, but I have watched a couple videos of people doing it, so I have some idea of how to do it. And if these work out, then I will probably make a pair for my husband, my son. I don't know, but they're fun to knit. And yeah, these are the two colors. Also, what I was saying that I didn't record and had to start over is I found this in my project bag and I was like, wait a minute, what is that? This is a Venom colorway by Jelene Yarns. It's my friend Chantal's dyeing company. And I remembered that I had cast on what's it called again? Pop Rock t-shirt, which is by is it Tanis Level A? Yes, Tanis Fiber Art. So it's Tanis Level A. This is it here. And um, it's basically like her, oh boy, no, I can't remember the name, Rocket Tee. So she says, I published a Rocket Tee pattern which featured a beautiful V-neck I-cord edging and was knitting the stripes in Maria mohair. For my pop rock pullover, I kept all of those beautiful details but switched up the construction and added a long sleeve option. But there's no raglan. So I don't know what you call that sleeve when it's kind of just attached and drop shoulder something. So that's what this is. Totally forgot I had cast that on. So I can add that to my list, which makes like 12, I think. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 9. This will make 10, and then I have two more. So I still have wiggle room. Yeah, it's just kind of tangled, so I just going to put it all in the bag. And this is in a little bucket thingy by Ginger Snap that. It's Christmas vacation themed. I had to have it. She has two different styles. One is like this, and one is kind of not as wide. I forget what it's called. But Ginger Snap that. Go check out her bags and yarn. They're Canadian and they're great. I love Kim and Colin. So there we go. Got that done. So next, let's see. Christmas gift. I have a Christmas gift to show. My friend Anne gifted me this beautiful knitting bag. And by the way, Anne is called Toby Knits. She has a YouTube channel. She has a Facebook group, which is called Toby Knits and Friends. And she also has an Etsy shop. Her Etsy shop is not active right now because she is in the midst of creating her own website, but she does post her bags on Facebook. So if ever you want to go and join, I'll put the YouTube and Facebook link below so you can go check her out. But she made me this beautiful bag. Has a nice pocket, which I love pockets in a bag. She gifted me a candle, which for the life of me, I can't find it. I put it in a safe place. As Liz would say, I put it in a safe place. And I'll find it when it's meant to be found. She gifted me Magic Shawl by Estelle Yarns. Look at these colors. I probably won't make a shawl. So that's the shawl pattern. I probably won't make that because I don't like the hangy bits. I don't like tassels and stuff like that. I think this is worsted weight yarn. Okay, I didn't look it up. Um, you had any ideas of a cowl? Maybe I'll make a cowl and a hat, or a hat and mitts, because where's the yardage on this? 680 meters. So that's like 700 yards if I'm doing math right, which I'm not really good at, but close enough. And it's 50% merino wool and 50% cotton. Cool. So, got any ideas? What do you think I should make with this? Put it down below. Please give me some ideas. The next thing I want to talk about is what I am reading. Right now on my Kindle, I am reading a Canadian author who is somewhat local to me, and she's a friend of mine. I met her at a book event. I don't know what you want to call it. So it's called The Dating Debacle, and it is Erin Lisbeth. This, I think, is her first book. I had an advance copy of her second book, which is called Benefits Included. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Um, I don't know what I can say. It was just awesome. I read that thing so fast, it was crazy. So I decided to go back on my Kindle. I actually have a hard copy. I got it signed by her when I saw her. Um, so I usually have one on my Kindle and then one physical book. So this one's on my Kindle, but I have the book. I decided to show you this really cute cover. And the other book I'm reading, I blame my friend Sarah. And we were at Chapters one day, and she was like, Taylor Swift is reading this. I am not a Swiftie by any account at all. I think her music is fine, but I'm not one of those Swifties. But apparently anything she reads goes viral. So I am reading The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and it's actually pretty good. Um, it's based in 1975-ish, I think, and it's about someone disappearing and them trying to find them, whole family drama. Um, but it's pretty good so far. So that's what I'm reading. And besides that, I mean, the first time I podcast in a year. Oh, sorry if I should tape. First time I've podcast in a year, so I'm a little rusty. I haven't podcast alone in a while, but my friend did remind me that I did Vlogmas a couple of years in a row. I didn't do it this past year because I just didn't have the energy with everything going on. Yeah, everything had to be simple. So I'm thinking of doing a podcast every couple weeks, depending, 2 to 3 weeks. I don't want to set a schedule because then I don't want to disappoint myself, basically. I could say disappoint my viewers, but really it's disappointing myself. So I don't want to set any expectations. And every 2 to 3 weeks, I could have progress on my projects and updates on life and, all that stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what I think I will do. And possibly, hey, if it goes well, maybe I'll do a month of vlogging here and there. There's Vlogtober, there's Vlogmas, which I'm not sure I want to do. I watched a lot of Vlogmas this year, which is great. There are so many. I'm still catching up on the ones that I couldn't finish. And besides that, just taking it easy and crafting and visiting friends when I can. Because of my husband's surgery, I have not had a lot of contact with groups of friends. Yesterday, I went to a knitting event, which was the first time I had gone to anything with more than two or three people in months. And it was quite lovely. Got chatted with some lovely ladies. And yeah, besides that, it's been, Liz and I going to visit Anne, or we went to visit our friend Selma, but it hasn't been big groups because I really have to be careful because he is immunocompromised. Like he has no immune system. When they did the surgery, they had to knock out his immune system, and now he's recovering. It's been 3 months. It's going great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say besides, I hope you like the podcast. I'm sure I was a little scratchy around the edges, but when you haven't podcast in a year, it's been a while. And so it brings us to the end. Like I said, I hope you like it. Subscribe, like, and I hope you come back next time. And stay safe, everybody, with everything that's going on out in the world. And happy crafting. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.